she wax it all off. Mr. Miyagi.
What I am about to share in this video is not intended to scare you, but to encourage and support you. After you go through this, you will feel so much confidence, you'll feel so much better about yourself, and no one will have to know. It's your little secret. But don't let these tips frighten you. They're just things to be aware of as you go on your journey down south. Hi ladies, this video is just for you. Shh. Ladies only. So if you've ever been curious or thought about or had a bad experience or just want to know more about what it's like to take a trip down south to Brazil and remove some unruly, unwanted hair, this video is for you. Disclaimer, I am not an esthetician. I am not a waxer. What I am, though, is a highly experienced wax and hair removal enthusiast. I do not like a lot of hair. So, these tips are not from professional experience. These are tips from my own journey from going down south and removing my unwanted hair. Okay? So, I've done this for my friends, and I just decided, hey, why not share it with the world since I love it so much, and they've really found my tips to be helpful in their experience. So this video is for you. So, we're going down south, ladies. There are 4 areas that have come up a lot. And so in each of the 4 areas, I'm just going to give you some tips, tricks, and things to think about and consider as you're planning on grooming yourself. So those 4 areas are pain and discomfort, exposure, the stream of flow, and length. So pain and discomfort, that is the number one question I get. Does it hurt? What does it feel like? I do not want to be in any pain. Ladies, I will say this. It is slightly uncomfortable for me, but it should never be painful. You should never feel like you need to take a sedative before you do this or after you do it. If you feel pain, something has gone extremely wrong. But you will feel a little uncomfortable. So for me, it's getting a Band-Aid removed feels worse than getting a wax. So for me, it's less painful or less, there's less discomfort than doing that. All right, so let's get over it. Whatever discomfort you feel is temporary. So, and they know this when they do it. So they'll apply the wax, and then, they will put their hands, after they remove, they'll press their hands up against your skin, and that kind of calms it. Also, at the end of your waxing experience, hopefully you go to a reputable place. We'll talk about that. They should put some kind of calming oil on you to calm the area down. That it will be uncomfortable because most of us are not used to things happening down there. So here's some things to help you. The length of your hair matters. The longer your hair, the more discomfort you will feel. So before you go, ladies, trim it. Trim. If it's been a long time, trim the hair. Till about, I can't even show you. See that length? Small. Trim it, and it'll help. Also, with pain and discomfort, we are hormonal people. And so, before my cycle and right after my cycle, I am the most sensitive to hair removal. And so I know not to schedule an appointment during those times. So you need to know your cycle, because the more hormonal you are, the more you may feel. So get to know your cycle, and then you'll figure it out. Something else that may help you with, if you're just, I don't know what to do, just a little discomfort, is start off on the outsides just with a little bikini wax. just on the outsides and the top until you get used to it. And then you may say, because this is what I did. I started with the bikini and I was like, no, that's not enough hair. And so I slowly started to move in until I had a little landing strip. And then I was like, oh, actually I found the gray hair and then was like, take it all off. Just take it off. So, I would say start slow and progress inward if you're really feeling like you don't know. And it helps you get used to what the wax feels like, what the experience is like. So that's a good tip to use. And if you're like, you do all that and you're still incredibly in pain, take a little something, like a little aspirin. Not like, like take a little baby aspirin. And that'll help with that. Also, another thing that is really important that I learned through one of my waxing experiences is breathing. Breathe, ladies. That will definitely help you. So as they're applying the wax, inhale. As they're removing, exhale. And you will not even feel it. Just think of it as yoga. And it'll go away. So that's pain and discomfort. If at any point it's red, something has happened that has gone horribly wrong. If you feel like they've ripped your skin off, something has happened and it's gone totally wrong. If you are burning, something has happened and has gone totally wrong, which is another reason why I think it's best to progress in so you can figure it out for yourself which wax works. If you feel any of those, you may feel it because the wax was too hot that they used, that they did not apply it the right way. When they removed your hair, they removed it in the wrong direction. Or you may actually be allergic to the wax. And so these are all things that you really need to take into consideration before you go down this road. Exposure. That's the second thing. So many of us have some discomfort with removing our undergarments. You're going to have to take them off. Otherwise, how are they going to get to it? You're going to have to remove your underwear, ladies. It'll be okay. As my girl told me once, I see these all day long. So I'm okay with what yours looks like. We are more uncomfortable than they are, especially if you go to a professional. Okay? So you will be exposed. Do not be alarmed when you get your Brazilian for the first time and they tell you to turn over. They're telling you to turn over so you can spread wide. You can say no, you don't want to do it, especially if you don't grow a lot of hair down there, whatever, in the back. It's fine. I think, we don't see ourselves that way a lot, or some of us have never seen it. We don't know what it looks like. And so we really feel uncomfortable exposing it and letting someone else see it. Don't worry. It's okay. They've seen it. And if you are uncomfortable, just let them know and they'll walk you through it. One thing that helps me is to actually talk and have a conversation with the person who's performing my service, because then it gets my mind off of it, and we're just having girl chat. So just think of it as time to get to know somebody new. So that's exposure. The third is stream of flow. So some of my girlfriends have told me that after they've had their Brazilian wax, that when they go to use the ladies' room, things don't flow in a straight line. They kind of do this and they feel like they can't control it. So when you're in the ladies' room and you're relieving yourself, it's best to have a wider stance out when you're squatting so that your stream of flow will flow more in a straight line than all over the place. The fourth thing is length, meaning how long will it last? So here's some things. Ladies, after you have gotten your Brazilian wax, do not engage in any activity for 24 to 48 hours where you're creating friction. I think you know what I mean. No friction. That will cause it to be irritated and it may create some ingrown hairs for you. Don't do it. The next thing is that do a little sugar scrub exfoliant after it, like 24 to 48 hours. You can begin to do a sugar scrub exfoliant. And so if you don't have a sugar scrub in your house, just get some brown sugar and some olive oil, mix it up, warm it up, and just scrub on the outside. Don't put the sugar scrub inside. You're not inserting it. You're just using it on the outside of your skin where they've removed the hair, and that will help you exfoliate, get some moisture, and stop the ingrowns. Waxing itself is an exfoliant also, especially if they use a good wax. So in terms of how long it should last, so these are things I do to prolong. If you don't want to use a sugar scrub, you know what else you can use? It's like Tin Skin or TENDSKIN. It helps with ingrowns, so that you don't get that, because you don't want to have bumps down there, and you don't want that. Okay, so how long will it last? That depends on how long your hair grows. So for me, I've been doing it for a while. My hair doesn't grow that long, so I go every 6 to 8 weeks or something like that. More close to 8 to 10 weeks actually. For other people, your hair may grow super fast, and you may need to go once a month. It's not something that you need to do every week or every 2 weeks. But you don't want your hair to grow so long that you have to start over in trimming and things like that. So those are like the 4 main topics. What I will say to you, though, this is not a topic or a question, but just something that you should be aware of, is that do not get your Brazilian or your waxing done from a value salon, from some place where they're always seeing people in and out, because you don't know, one, if it's clean, if they know what they're doing, and you don't want to be in any pain. And cleanliness is above all these things. You do not want to go to a place where they're double dipping the wax, where they're taking a stick, putting it on you, and there's hair in the wax. Like, when you go to these places, really, really check them out to see what they're doing. There should be no hair follicles. They should be changing the sheet. They should be changing the paper. The place where I go, they have plastic, like a shower curtain, and that paper from the doctor's office on the table, and it's clean and wiped down every time. You want to check to make sure their sticks, they're not using a stick on you that they use on somebody else. So really, you want to make sure that they're not using one end of the stick and flipping it over and using another. Be mindful of these value salons, and you want to go to some place or someone who is reputable, who has a license and knows what they're doing. Please keep that in mind. I cannot emphasize cleanliness enough. You do not want to get a wax and come out with something else. Let's just be real, ladies. You don't want to do that. Okay? I think that may be it, actually. So if you have any questions, concerns, leave a comment, and I will definitely respond back to you. Again, I am not an esthetician. I am just a wax enthusiast, and I love it so much. So, I could talk about it all day. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this Know Before You Go video really helps you, and you enjoy your trip down south. Mwah.